What's up, y'all? Y'all know who it is. Your boy Westside Gregory up in your area, hosting another episode of Raw Radio 513. And it's finna get deep in here, man, because it's some mess going on down there in Jackson, Mississippi. I mean, this stuff is deep. And guess what? Y'all know Westside Gregory gonna get to the bottom of it. I'm gonna bring up some stuff that, hey, y'all might just want to tune in to. So listen up though. 215 bodies found buried behind Jackson, Mississippi jail. Now keep that number in mind, y'all. Come on, 215. Now let's go to the interlude and we'll be right back. If you got a story you want to tell or got something to get off your chest, hit us up at 513-557-0397. Raw Radio, baby.
You are now listening to Raw Radio with Westside Greg.
Than it did at the start of the month. Hinds County Sheriff Tyree Jones announced today his office reached an agreement with a facility in Tallahatchie County operated by the company Core Civic to transfer those detainees. This allows them to close Pod A at the detention center. Jones called that pod the least safe and least secure in the entire facility. It also eases the burden on his staff as the center now houses less than 400 people. Those detainees have measured access to transportation to Hinds County for court appearances, as well as virtual court appearances and visitation. Jones says Pod A will remain closed indefinitely.
We do not look forward to putting detainees back in Pod A at the Raymond Detention Center unless that particular pod is renovated. We don't know at this particular time if the Board of Supervisors will decide to repair this particular pod, but as you all know, we are building a new jail at this time.
Sheriff Jones says the first phase of that new jail should be finished sometime in 2025, which falls within the possible 2-year extension on that contract. Jones also clarified the contract is for beds rather than detainees, so any who leave the Tallahatchie facility can be replaced by others in the Raymond Detention Center.
215 bodies found buried behind the Jackson, Mississippi jail. Now, this is January the 4th that they found these bodies. Last year, I'm gonna say it was around like October, but I do remember them moving some people from a detention center called Raymond Detention Center. It was 200 people, and I thought in my head like, damn, that's a lot of inmates that they trying to move. 200 inmates just in one out of one pod. And so now fast forward January the 4th, 215 bodies found buried behind Jackson, Mississippi jail. This is come on, y'all. This is the same jail that they took 200 inmates from. Okay, so they said they took 200 inmates. Okay, look, after negotiate, and this was the reason that they said that they had to get rid of Pod A, because it was overflow and it was too many inmates fighting, and they said it was the most reckless pod that was in the jail. Okay, now listen to this. After negotiations between the sheriff's office, Hinds County Board of Supervisors, and Core Civic, 200 inmates were transferred to the Tallahatchie County Correctional Facility. Okay, 100 detainees was transferred last Monday, according to the sheriff. Okay, Jones said another 100 detainees were transported to the Tallahatchie County Correction Facility. Okay, now let's read that again. 100 detainees were transferred last Monday. Transferred to where? Hell if we know. According to the sheriff, Jones said another 100. Now they gonna tell us where this 100 went. Another 100 detainees were transported to the Tallahatchie County Correction Facility Friday. Now, y'all, this was in what was this like? In October. Okay, I just pulled it up. It was in October where they moved 200 inmates, and now, okay, remember October 2023. Now it's January the 4th, 2024, and now they saying that they found 215 bodies buried behind Jackson, Mississippi jail. So come on, y'all. If y'all ain't on the same page with me, they moved 200 inmates from Raymond Detention Center, and now they got 215 bodies found behind Jackson, Mississippi jail. From this same jail, y'all. Come on, 200 inmates moved from Raymond Detention Center. Pod A successfully closed at Hinds County Jail, sheriff said. And this was October. This was the October 17th article, 2023. Okay. Now, 215 bodies found buried behind Jackson, Mississippi jail. This is the article of January the 4th, 2024. Do y'all understand what I'm saying now? So, it's something real shifty going on in Jackson, Mississippi jail. Very, very, very suspicious activity. Now, once again, 200 inmates moved from Raymond Detention Center. Okay. October 17th, 2023. Now, 215 bodies found buried behind Jackson, Mississippi jail. January the 4th, 2024. And then it goes on to say the people that was found, relatives didn't even know that they was dead or anything like that. So they and listen, after this, y'all stick around and listen to this article that I'm gonna leave at the end. So yeah, this is deep. Jackson, Mississippi, Hinds County. Hey, y'all got some explaining to do. Reverend Jose Hinds and Attorney Ben Crump. Ooh, y'all got some explaining to do too. So yeah, go ahead and get y'all money together and get them lawyers. Once again, I'm Westside Gregory hosting another episode of Raw Radio 513, baby. Hey, y'all stick around, listen to this article, and then don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And if you're listening still, leave where you from, what state and city you from. Leave it in the comments. I'm out. If you got a story you want to tell or got something to get off your chest, hit us up at 513-557-0397 Raw Radio, baby.
You are now listening to Raw Radio with Westside Greg.
Thanks for listening to Raw Radio 513 News. Please subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment. Hinds County, Mississippi. 215 bodies found buried behind Jackson, Mississippi jail. Alarmed over the discovery of 215 multiracial bodies found buried in a pauper's cemetery behind the Hinds County, Mississippi jail. Reverend Hosea Hinds, senior pastor of the Christ Tabernacle Church and the national leader of a New Day Coalition for Equity in Black America (ANCEBA), joined attorney Ben Crump in calling for an investigation. Some relatives of those found buried behind the jail simply thought they were missing. They object to having to pay a fee for the removal of their loved ones' remains that are needed for a proper burial. At a press conference held on December 20 at the Stronger Hope Baptist Church in Jackson, Mississippi, Crump was joined by relatives of 3 of the deceased men. Each of the women held pictures of their loved ones. Gretchen Hankins, who is white, held a picture of her son, Jonathan Hankins, 39. Mary Moore Glenn, a black woman, held a picture of her son, Mario Moore, 40, and Betterston Wade held a photo of her son, Dexter Wade, 37. They were shocked to learn their relatives had been buried behind the jail. Crump and his co-counsel, Dennis Sweet, are demanding to know why officials failed to investigate their deaths and did not try to find the next of kin, as opposed to burying them in a pauper's grave near a dirt road by the jailwork farm. Their grave sites were reportedly marked with a metal rod and a number. People all across America are scratching their heads in disbelief about what's happening in Jackson, Mississippi, with this pauper's graveyard, said Crump. It went from talking about the water, that was non-existent or contaminated, to now we're talking about the graveyard. What is going on in Jackson, Mississippi? That is what Reverend Hinds wants to know, as well. In an interview with the Chicago Crusader, Hinds said, "It's unfortunate that we are living in a world that is college-educated and super sophisticated as it relates to telecommunications and IT. The amount of mistakes that were made, as to individual families not being notified about the deaths, is really unbelievable. It really saddens my heart to know that their relatives went that long, some over a year, not knowing if their loved ones were dead or alive and then coming to the realization that they had been buried in a pauper's grave behind a jailhouse," Hinds said. "If they had been properly notified, they would have been able to pay their proper respects. A lot of these things that have happened were not under the watch of Joseph Wade, the chief of the Jackson Police Department," Hinds stated. He has instituted a new death notification policy that would give relatives information about their deaths and the cause. "I have spoken with the chief, and he has told me he will implement policies and procedures to ensure this won't happen again and to hold those individuals responsible for what has occurred." Agreeing with Attorney Crump, Hinds said, "There needs to be a real call for justice, on behalf of the 215 black, white, Hispanic and Native Americans who were buried behind the jailhouse." Asked if he was surprised this was happening in Jackson, Mississippi, Hinds said, "I am surprised that it's happening anywhere in the U.S. We should be better than this." He said he does not know if the deaths of the 215 people were acts of racism, prejudice, or bigotry. He is also investigating the causes of their deaths. "I give my condolences to all of the families that have been affected by this tragedy. My prayers go out and up to them, and I pray that you find the whole truth and nothing but the truth about their deaths." Hinds said he will be working to find out the truth and to give care to the grieving families. Efforts to reach Hinds County Coroner Sharon Grisham Stewart to determine the cause of the deaths failed. She did not respond to phone calls or emails. Thanks for listening to Raw Radio 513 News. Please subscribe, share, like and leave. Thanks for listening to Raw Radio 513 News.